Hello, friends. Last time we had a discussion over some tips and steps which were provided to the students so as to help them prepare a proper timetable for them so that they can study properly and gain good marks in examinations. Now, today we are going to disclose the sole purpose behind starting this channel. From now onwards, our channel would be more specific, would be more directional in nature. This channel will be devoted solely to the subject of biology. And we will be bringing series of different biology topics from class 9th till 12th. Once all the biology topics of school level are over, then we will upgrade the channel a bit more. We will get more specific and more particular about covering topics from animal biology, particularly human biology. Topics such as human diseases, human chromosomes, human immune system, human physiology would be some of the topics based on which a series of presentation would be launched and attached to this channel. As of now, we are going to start with the topics of biology of class 9th. The first one among them being the fundamental unit of life, that is the cell. Moving on with today's presentation, first we will be discussing about the evolutionary aspects of cells, that is, how the earliest so-called cell formations came into existence, how the modern structure changed to proper recognized cells, and how these cells evolved. Depending upon that only, we will discuss the structural specifications of not only cells but also of the different parts of cells, attached to which would be the discussion of specific function of each and every part of the cell. And at the end, we will try to establish a connectivity between the functions of different compartments of cells and how the positioning, the assembly, and the coordinated function is justified. As a common feature in each and every presentation, at the end, we will have a section of Yaksh Prashna. This section will leave the students with few interesting, intriguing questions. Some of them would be necessary from the examination point of view, while some of them would be aimed at making the students understand the topics a bit more in building up of their concept, and also as a fun measure to introduce and to engage students more towards the topic and subject. Friends, there's a very famous line in the books of NCERT that cells are the structural and functional unit of life, which means that all the organisms are made up of minuscule microscopic cells, and whatever function a cell performs is visible and is presented at the level of the organism. But have we ever thought that from where does these cell structures of modern day are arriving, and who were the ancestors of the modern day cell structures? If we focus on the evolutionary aspect and evolutionary journey of the cells, then we should know that the environment of the earth in the earliest times was quite reducing. The earliest so-called cellular structures, not the exact cells like microspheres and co-servates, arose that time. Due to the reducing environment, the aquatic bodies were witnessing chemical reactions and spontaneous formations of some nucleic acids and some amino acids. This kind of environment was recreated in the Urey and Miller experiment, and they were successfully able to generate these chemicals inside their experimental setup, proving all the assumptions right. Obviously, the environmental changes, the survival requirements, the temperature, pressure, etc., led to changes in the structure of the so called cellular aggregates, and the most successful model of the earth, the prokaryotic forms, were reached. But the question here to ask is, were the prokaryotic cellular models the best cellular assembly possible? No, certainly not. Because as we will see in the upcoming discussions, that many of the factors, many of the requirements led to changes in the prokaryotic cell structure as well, and we ultimately arrive to the modern day multicellular eukaryotic forms. During a longer stretch of the time after their arrival, prokaryotes were existing in large number, they were surviving very well, and they were proving to be the most successful cellular structures and models the nature can provide. Some of the basic reasons why they were so successful might include their simple basic design without much of the parts or compartments, minimum or no complexity in the cellular processes, and very less energy was required to maintain such a simple and basic structure. And it is quite obvious that any system or any organism simple in structure requiring very less amount of energy is able to survive and flourish and increase in number in any sort of environment very easily. The nature is able to carry such an organism with no problem at all. But after the arrival of prokaryotes, and in a gap of 1 to 1.5 billion years after prokaryotes arose, there was arrival of yet another improvement in the cell structure, that is, there was arrival of eukaryotic cells. Now the question here is, why, when already the prokaryotic cells were successful in thriving and surviving, what was the need for the eukaryotic forms to emerge and arrive? Did they had any better structure than the prokaryotic cells? And even if they did, then how did that structure prove to be a better one? How did that model prove to be a better one? And what were the reasons behind the success of this model, and what were the reasons why this new eukaryotic model that arrived was also accepted in nature? The answers to all these questions and all these mysteries would be explained with the help of the discussions in the following part of this presentation. Friends, do subscribe our channel and follow our channel for regular updates. We will launch each and every part of the course material consecutively. When you subscribe our channel, you will easily get the notifications of any new presentation and video coming up, and one after the other we'll keep on completing and attending the various topics of the curriculum. Thank you.